So we have talked about the two ideas that you could actually use to discover your purpose and lead a more purpose-driven life. Idea number one we talked about was for you to listen to your life, for you to go back to the past, to understand what were some of the more memorable experiences that you have had, recollect all those positive emotions, at the same time understand what were some of those accomplishments, those achievements that you have really wished that you could have achieved in the past that would give you so much satisfaction that you did not manage to achieve. Go back to the past, understand, reflect upon them, because most likely in all those activities that excited you, all those activities that made you feel sad because you didn't manage to achieve it during that time, would have this underlying pattern of helping you discover more about your purpose, more about what you love to do and what you should do in life. Then we move on to idea number two, that is to become a lifelong student of life, or to become a lifelong mentee of life. And I've mentioned where it's the best learning opportunity for you to read books, to listen to audios, watching videos, going to networking events to meet your mentors, because these are people who have accumulated decades of experiences who will be able to share with you pitfalls to avoid and strategies to accelerate your success further. And in the process, as you're learning from them, you could also discover your passion to become more successful in life by following your purpose. Now, this leads us to the third idea, and that is, it's not rocket science. The third idea is to take massive action, right? Now, of course, there is a misconception. There is a myth around here. People tend to say that once you have known, once you have discovered your purpose in life, everything in life brightens up. Everything in life becomes great, because guess what? Your strengths, what you love to do, and most likely what you're good at doing right now would have come from your purpose in life. So people are saying, once you have discovered your purpose, life is like a bed of roses. However, I'm here to share with you that is not that accurate. Even though we agree that when you pursue a job, or you start a business, or you do something that is fueled by your purpose, you do find a lot more meaning by doing it. However, that doesn't mean that you are going to get the easiest head start. It's going to be challenging when you first start. It's going to be tough. And the problem is not a lot of people realize that. But just like any professional athlete, if you look at Michael Jordan, if you have read his story where he used to shoot thousands of shots every day at the basketball court, he was not even accepted into the initial draft of any basketball team, but he continued to train hours after hours after hours, putting in time, because he knew that that was his passion. He knew that his purpose was to entertain people by becoming the best in that very sport. And then what happened? He became one of the most valuable players, the MVP, the legendary MVP of our time. If you look at athletes, musicians, artisans, artists, all of them have contributed so much time. They've gone through so much challenges to hone their craft, to hone their skills, and some of them to the point of exhaustion. However, at the end of the day, we could now celebrate them. We admire them. We even idolize some of them because they are the masters of their trade. This same strategy applies to you as well. You want to discover your purpose, you need to take massive action to implement initiatives, efforts, activities that will help you realize that purpose. Now, one of the things that we have had the great opportunity again to research in the Potential Matrix book is that we actually talk to all these high achievers to understand when they take massive action, how do they sustain their motivation? How do they keep going? And one of the things we found out was they have a measuring tool. They measure their impact, which is why in our book, we have actually created a special chapter. It's the third chapter in the book where it talks about the Potential Matrix model, zooming into 3 levels of impact that you can create. Number 1, When you want to pursue your purpose in life, when you want to do something with your purpose, create a business, go for a job that you really want, do something that you know it's your calling, how does that effort contribute to three levels of people? How do you serve them? Number one, how do you serve stakeholders? These are people who have an interest in your success. These are people who are directly impacted by the very work that you do. What impact would you create among them? Number two, how would your effort create an impact to the environment? Now, the environment here means indirect impact, in a sense where whatever you're doing right now could have an indirect consequence to the environment, to the people around you who may not know you, who may not be your customers. But what would that impact be? There's a lot of examples in this book where we have actually interviewed these high achieving millennials in the Potential Matrix to actually get them to share with us, despite coming from different backgrounds. They're entrepreneurs, they're corporates, they are young politicians, they are celebrities, actresses, they are advocates. How did they actually measure their impact to the people around them? These are their stakeholders, people who have an interest in their growth, and to their environment. Now, the third level is related to your self-development. When you actually dwell into pursuing your purpose and creating a viable, a sustainable venture out of it, how does that activity, how does that whole host of activity help you in terms of developing you into a better human being, into a more outstanding person? Always be measuring impact. Again, we understand, as I've shared this with you a few minutes ago, when you find your purpose, you would need to put in all the action to make sure that you have explored all the channels, you have asked mentors, you have learned how to make a sustainable life, how to build a livelihood which gives you the most meaning, which also gives you the most economic and societal returns for your efforts, fitting your level of satisfaction. How do you create such a sustainable effort or a series of activity stemming from your purpose that will allow you to constantly grow and that will allow you to make a positive impact to those people who are concerned of you and to those people who are indirectly related to you, the greater environment? Once you're able to take massive action, you will learn from these experiences. Take the journey as an experience for you to learn from others, to really see your purpose in action. Oftentimes I hear a lot of corporates, a lot of young people, and a lot of entrepreneurs are pursuing an industry, they're pursuing a business, they're doing something which they literally hate. They're doing something which is not their purpose, and always in their mind they're thinking, what if? What if I did it? What if I just summoned the courage to do it? Well, guess what? If you are not going to do it, you are right. Those will remain as imaginations, dreams, and illusions. However, if you decide to commit to doing it, to take massive action, work out a plan, meet with mentors, and just take that one day to do it, that is when you'll begin to see how your purpose could actually create a viable and sustainable and a more meaningful livelihood for you. Now, I understand some of you may be thinking, but Michael, I have a full-time job, I have family members. Well, guess what? A lot of the world's most successful entrepreneurs started their passion and purpose-driven business by running them on part-time. Again, when you take massive action, get ready. Again, you need to give sacrifice. You need to sacrifice some of your time and your efforts to make it work. It's not rocket science. You're not starting on day one and day two, you become a multi-millionaire or you become a legend in your industry. It doesn't work that way. If you want to reduce your risk, start it part-time. Work on it during your free time. In fact, if that is really your purpose, despite how busy you are, and if you really dislike the job or the project or the business you're in, the human nature will take over. The human nature of wanting fulfillment to pursue the things you want to do. Putting in easy words, you will find a way to make time, to make an extra effort, to experiment with that purpose that you want to do. The most important thing is to just jump in and take incremental steps to keep growing. And once you have set up a very sustainable base for your activities that is fueled and driven by your purpose, that is when you know you could grow this little venture, you could grow this responsibility to the next level. Again, from the production team of the Potential Matrix, we want to thank you for your attention. And we do understand that we do not have the luxury of time, all of us. You may be working right now, you may be studying, you just want the quick answers. Well, guess what? In our book right here, we have also sourced a to-do list. We have actually listed down a to-do list of what all these high-achieving people have done around the world and how you could replicate their successes. Now, I'm just going to show you right here. This to-do list is amazing. We have first a reflection question. And now this reflection questions is available in every single chapter, where it actually allows you to reflect on your current state of your life. It asks you strategic questions that have also been reflected upon by our millennial icons and interviewees. Then we have to-do lists right here, what we call action steps, to help guide you to understand what are the steps that you need to take in order to further develop yourself, in order to align that action, that series or that list of action that you need to take in order to produce the most optimum results and to align you with your purpose. Again, we have presented this in the Potential Matrix book. We are very proud about it. And I would humbly encourage you, give it a shot. Try us out. This is your guide towards planning your actions, towards sharing with you how could you be a mentee, a lifelong student, leveraging and learning from the experiences of others, to even understanding about yourself, knowing how to embed the right mindset and the right motivation for you to push forward your dreams to live a more purpose-driven life. Again, just to wrap it up, you may have all the purpose in the world. It may be noble. It may be the most significant thing in your life. But if you do not take any action at all, if you procrastinate too much, you become paralyzed. And that purpose, that dream life that you've always wanted to live, will always be a dream for you. Take action right now.